What's going on, everybody? This is my first YouTube video, but I feel real passionate about some of the topics and subjects I'm going to speak about, and I've seen so much bullshit, really, in the dark corners of YouTube with these conspiracy theorists, and basically just attacking these students that witnessed life-changing events, a massacre, with their very eyes. And then on top of that, they have to deal with, the insults and the allegations that they're crisis actors or, God knows what. And, first, I'll give you an introduction. Obviously not my name, but I'm someone who really, gets involved in my community. I have my head on my shoulders, and I absolutely love researching and learning. I don't know why, and as cliche as it sounds, it's just something I really enjoy. My hobbies include like drawing and other artistic things. So that's pretty much it. That's my introduction. I think what I'm going to speak about is far more important. So I'll begin with saying, if I had my way in a perfect world, I would have already banned all of the guns. Not just the assault style weapons or, Glocks, or all of them. The days in which we needed to hunt to survive are long in the past. And I know the other argument is, to prevent a tyrannical takeover or to protect yourself against a tyrannical government. But if the government was tyrannical enough where it decided that it was going to use arms on its own citizens, AR-15s and shotguns aren't going to do anything anyway. You're not even going to come close to matching the weapons that the military has. I mean, they have railguns and lasers now that most people aren't even aware of, and the laser could literally just mow down a city in no time at all. I mean, if they really wanted to bring out, the heavy artillery, the big guns. So that's not much of an argument anymore either. And a third argument that I often hear is, if you take away the guns, the only ones left that'll have them are the criminals. Well, not necessarily, because if you ban guns and make them illegal, then companies such as, Remington or Cole, or whoever makes these weapons will stop producing them in this country. Will stop manufacturing them. Hopefully, some will go out of business. But then, I would say go, do a house-to-house check. And people are like, oh, we got our constitutional right. Well, the Constitution was written so long ago that little, if any of it, makes any sense now. I mean, it's outdated to say the least. And we seen it in Boston with the Boston bombing. That horrible mess. And that's another thing. I was looking on YouTube trying to find some information out, and I come across these videos that show, these two guys. Yeah, they look like, they're in Black Ops or, some kind of covert military type organization. And yeah, the backpack that was found exploded did match the backpack that one of these guys were wearing. And, there's a lot of other things that people keep saying about, the Boston bombing. But even though it may sound good what they're saying, and it may seem to make sense, the news would report it. don't you think? I mean, CNN hasn't said anything about, you know, the two secret agents, conducting this and carrying this out. It just doesn't, it doesn't make much sense how these guys get people to listen to them. And lately, there's been a lot of people starting to listen to, this nonsense. Like, speaking of the Boston bombing, one of the things I heard about this Florida shooting was that there was a drill, a fire drill, and then there was also something called like a code red drill, basically an active shooter drill scheduled for that day. And so what, like, big deal. Coincidences happen all the time, and all the time. Here, let me give you an example. Like, the 7/7 bombing in London, they were carrying out the exact same scenario in an exercise. I mean, that bus, the terminal, the same cart, everything on that train, where the bomb was placed, and it was a drill. And then, lo and behold, there are bad people out there with bad intentions, and luckily all these people were already on the scene, because it could have been a lot worse. But while they were doing the drill, it went live, and the exact same thing happened. Like I said, coincidences do happen. Take 9/11, for instance. The reason it took so long for the Air Force to bring down these planes that were so obviously headed, towards the Pentagon or the Twin Towers, especially after we seen the first one hit and the other one's off track for an hour and a half. Any other time the Air Force would have brought them down in no time at all. But there was a drill being, these things happen. You got to think they need to be prepared, and they need to conduct these drills and exercises as much as they can. So, don't be surprised if you see something like that. But like I was saying, yeah, they were actually conducting a very similar exercise when 9/11 happened. And you can hear, in one of the videos, the guy's confused. He said, is this live or is this a drill? And, it was live, but could you imagine the confusion? It's just, I don't know. I personally couldn't imagine it. And then, there's a lot of them. Like, I don't like speaking of this one because of how tragic it is, but Sandy Hook. About, I forget, it was 3 to 10 miles away. There's another school pretty close to Sandy Hook, and I believe the day before, the 13th of September, they carried out, an active shooter exercise. And the next day, look what happened to Sandy Hook. And then the conspiracy theorists get a hold of that one, because the news made a mistake and accidentally put up a little bit of footage from, the drill that was, they were carrying out. Because you need to record those things so you can learn, just like a football game. You record the games and then you watch them and learn from them. So, the drill that was being done the day before Sandy Hook about, an active shooter, some of the footage of the school and the people running got mixed up, and they accidentally aired it as Sandy Hook footage. So you can only imagine what these fucking tinfoil, pardon my language, tinfoil hat wearing nut jobs started saying. And then they talked about, oh, what about the 24 or however many people died, Christmas trees behind Sandy Hook? Because, I get where they could, say something about that, but that alone does not mean, the government or whoever, killed innocent children. I mean, come on. Just be like, somebody donated a Christmas tree for each one of the people lost at Sandy Hook. And it just so happens that there are the same amount, 24 Christmas trees, laying on the side of the Sandy Hook Elementary School while the shooting's happening. But it's that, you know, they're getting ready for that season, that holiday. So they probably had other Christmas trees, you know, somewhere else. So who knows how many there actually were. But you guys get the idea. These coincidences happen. But it's enough for these, you know, I call them what they are, conspiracy theorists, to get a hold of this information and twist it and bend it, try to make it fit their, you know, crazy little ideas, so to speak. And some of them do a pretty good job, and, you know, people believe it, like an illusion. And that's all it is. So here we are, I don't know how many lives later. You know, I think in Obama's term there was like 170 something mass shootings. It's just, and it's not slowing down, it's not stopping. We need to ban the guns. So I am going to start a similar initiative in the Northeast, much like the brave students in Florida are doing and have started, you know, the March for Our Lives. And if you're interested, we'll start off, just, you know, leave me a comment, get this out there. You know, I know there's enough of us to finally try to stamp out these ridiculous, I won't swear, but these ridiculous people that are doing nothing but damage, you know. I don't know why YouTube hasn't really put in an effort to completely silence, you know, these people. Or even not just those people, but people that, you know, are remotely like them. They should have a list of words and use artificial intelligence that if that person says that word, the AI automatically starts paying attention, and if you use another one, it gets sent over to a human monitor, and they can decide, you know, if it's okay, if it should be uploaded or not. And if you're saying, you know, the things about other people that just witnessed horrifying deaths, then I think you should be brought up on charges, you know, for hate speech, and maybe even terrorism, spreading terror. You know, that's what terrorism is. And I believe they have the grounds to do that now. You know, like I said, I love doing research, and they passed some amazing bills. You know, I'm not a big fan of George Bush, but the Patriot Act and the Freedom Act, you know, really laid the foundation for the potential of this country, you know, to really shine again, to be as strong as it once was. But we're not going to get there with these hillbilly, gun-toting, crazy lunatics, you know, that are so far right-wing, they don't want to listen to anybody. Probably 95% of them are either neo-Nazis, white supremacists, or extreme nationalists, like super patriots, to the point where it's dangerous. You know, it's literally, and I'm not all for the government, but I pay attention to the bills and legislations that's passed, and regardless of all the rhetoric and everything people say, if you actually take the time and read a bill, you'll see that it's not some crazy New World Order world that they're out trying to, you know, get you or depopulate you or limit your freedoms. They're doing what they can do to protect you from yourself, in a sense. you know, and it's not an easy task. And if I was in charge, I'll tell you what I would do. I wouldn't waste no time banning weapons. Screw it. You know, oh, there's going to be pushback, the NRA and all the Second Amendment. Screw it. Obviously, the people that support that, since how almost all these shooters had their guns legally, then how long are you going to let, you know, your child play with knives when he keeps cutting himself? It would be stupid, right? Exactly. You know, until people can grow up and learn that human life is sacred, then not worthy, not even close to responsible enough for guns. Nothing but you know, bad things come. So you know, I'm gonna shorten this up. I don't want to drag it on too much, but you know, please share this, spread it around, because I'm really focused and working on organizing already with, you know, some people that well, I'm sure, you know, if you're interested, you'll see soon enough, because they got channels as well. But you know, we got to unite together and support people like you know, Dave Hogg, or you know, what was his name? Jesus in the Orlando shooting. Got shot like 6 times in the back, and you know, people were on YouTube calling his hospital room, and you know, they turned that into a big deal because he got released from the hospital the next day. But you know, that I don't understand the problem. You know, medical science is extremely advanced, and yeah, I mean, he is lucky to survive 6 shots from an assault weapon, because you know, they could do damage like you know, everything I say, it seems like these guys have infiltrated their tentacles into it and tainted it with conspiracy theories, because there's all these videos showing, you know, what an assault weapon can do to a watermelon, and it explodes it, you know, and it's everywhere. But human tissue isn't a watermelon, so let's not do these comparisons and make yourself look any more stupid than you already are. Alright, please subscribe, guys. We got to do something about these guns. Much love.